I'm always going to focus, guys, on money. And when I say that, I don't mean I love money, but I do like it. But when you're in business, you're not in business. I'm going to assume this is not a hobby. This is not something you come to do for fun. This is something you come to do to take care of your family. If some of you are like me, I want to retire my mom. I want to make sure my generational wealth is set up. I want to make sure that my kids are good. So with that being said, that means that when you're in business, remember you're in business to make money. So if your business is not making money, it's a hobby. You heard that from me. If your business is not making money, it's really a hobby. And it's okay to have hobbies, but try not to call a hobby a business. Okay? So now with that, Dwight Eisenhower, I like the way he did this. He actually put together this wonderful scale that kind of shows you how to prioritize your life. A lot of guys I talk to, I think the hardest thing is realizing what they should be doing as money-making activities and what they should be doing to make sure that they're actually taking care of the other stuff. Then also, some of you are doing stuff that you really shouldn't be doing. Some of you have a list of all these things that you're doing, but then when I go back through and say, okay, what's making you money? And you say, oh, well, I'm getting there. How soon before you get there? At this point in my life, I don't even invest in a business that within 30 days isn't making me money. Okay? And also, when you're explaining to people, knowing how to explain to them the return of investment. An investor like myself, we're not looking to hear about how you're a wonderful person. We want to know, show me the money. And so a lot of times you'll be working on stuff that's not going to get you really where you want to be. Now, urgent, important principle helps you quickly identify the activities that you should focus on as well as the one you should ignore. I really want to teach you guys the power of no. Some of you are doing stuff that you at this level should not be doing. Now, some of you, of course, are just getting started, and that's okay. But even then, you got to start asking yourself, what can I start outsourcing? Now, important activities, they have an outcome that leads to achieving your goals, whether they're professional or personal. Important activities are ones that you actually already have in advance are working towards. Now, urgent activities are something that immediate pops up. I don't know about anybody else, but my day, sometimes I have things that pop up that need to be handled right away. The biggest key is how to separate those things, because most times you'll chase the urgent and not take care of the things that are important. Most of the urgent things are going to affect somebody else. The important things are actually going to affect you. So now you got to find out which way should I focus. Now, some of you, you're in a hot, I don't know how you do it, but you're chasing your tail. I'm going to talk about this in a minute because I think you actually thrive off of pressure, because you'll procrastinate until you get to a point and then you'll jump on it like a mad dog, and you'll start doing everything, but you'll do it all and try to get it done all at once. And you'll miss out on the things you should have been doing because you had to jump on something that now went from being important to urgent because you really didn't handle it in time. Okay? Got to be careful here with that, because if not, you find yourself chasing your tail. Now, I like this actual chart that he came up with, and there's 4 quadrants. Now, quadrant 1, I like it because it says urgent and important. Those are things that you should be doing. So in other words, if it's urgent and it's important, then now that's something that should be worked on. Now, if it's something that's not urgent, not important, then you should be planning for it. But a lot of times when I'm talking to you guys, you're doing things that really is planning during your money-making times. Now, each and every one of you have a certain time that you make money throughout the day. Now, my time is 10 to 6. 10 to 6, that's when I'm in my zone. That's when I'm focused. That's when I'm working on stuff. Now, that has to be a time that you set, whatever your business is. If it be marketing, whether it be whatever it be within your business, but what are the things that you need to work on that are important, that need to be worked on to make your business the money it needs to make? Now, quadrant 3 is urgent, but not important. Those are things that you should be delegating. In other words, you got to find people that can do those things, because if not, you'll find yourself once again chasing your tail. Quadrant 4, not urgent and not important. You need to eliminate it. In other words, there's some things that you need to really get rid of. Get to the point where now you get rid of these things that are not urgent, not important, and it's definitely something you shouldn't be doing. But I'm finding out sometimes a lot of guys will shuffle paper around like they're doing a whole lot, but they're really not being productive. But you're busy. I'm gonna talk about it here in a minute, okay? Some of you guys are the best you are and can be under pressure. It's like I love pressure, I love pressure. No, sometimes I think what we're saying, and I've been guilty of this, is I'm saying that I did not properly prepare. So now I have to do it last minute and I put myself under pressure. And unfortunately, if you keep operating under pressure, that means now everything has to be a state of emergency. And some of you are working your life in a state of emergency. Okay, just done, get it in. And everything you're working on, you have to ask yourself, is it producing any income? In other words, did I do something today? Like I look at every day, what did I do today? What did I produce today? I think one of you guys texted me the other day, and I actually texted you my number what I made the other day. And for a lot of people, they're like, well, man, why are you gonna tell us what you made today? Because as a business person, you should know how your business is flowing. If you don't know what your business is making, then how can you know if it's making money? In my office, I have a board that every single day we have to write down what we did for that day. At the end of the day, my ladies, which are wonderful, they have to send me a list of the things that they did for the day. It's important because if you don't check on what's been accomplished, how do you know what's been accomplished? That's why I like our 21 days. And I hope you guys are following that list and putting up 5 things that you should be doing that need to get done that day. Because if you are, now you're going to focus on those things that really need to be done. And then everything else gets kind of pushed to the side because there's those things that you need to be done. Now, there are, of course, are going to pop up some urgent things, but you can't keep putting the urgent in front of the important things. Because what will happen is you'll do all the urgent stuff, and the stuff that you really should have been doing now becomes urgent because you didn't finish it, because it's like you shuffle things around. When you're looking at your business, what do you prioritize? The actual look of a business? And this is something I want you to think about. Am I more excited about the thought of a business than I am about a business that makes money? Think about that. Am I just excited about, I'm a business person? Okay, that's great. But what is your business doing? Okay. And also too, are you always under pressure with your business? Does it seem like you're always on edge? Then that's a clear sign that either A, you're operating from a point of not knowing how to flow within your business. So you're kind of all over the place. And some of you, if you really ask yourselves, the question is, why? Because who makes your schedule? Who makes your schedule? Who makes your schedule? Okay, is it the man in the moon? Is the dog? Who makes your schedule? It should be you. And so if you make your schedule and you're all over the place, then really the person that did that was, man, I love the way you guys are responding. Hit me up in chat, get mad at me now, love me later, that's the way that works. But you guys gotta really know that now there's some things that you can't keep doing under pressure. Because if you keep doing it under pressure, then guess what you keep doing? It's easy to get stuck in just being reactionary. So everything you're responding to. In other words, you're actually in this mode of just putting out fires all day, and you're really robbing yourself of doing what you should be doing. Okay, I don't know if you guys have days like that. I know sometimes I'm guilty, absolutely, of having days that seems like just one of those days to where everything is I'm putting out fires. But if you're consistently doing that, then you never get to the things that you should be doing because you're constantly putting out fires. Okay, be careful not to get stuck there to where only thing you're doing all day is reacting to your business. Don't react to your business all day. You should be responding to it, but not just reacting. Remember, there's a difference, guys, in responding and reacting. Responding is something that is coming your way that you now can process and put together. But if you're just reacting to everything, that means you're not making the best decisions. You're not making the best choices. Okay? You gotta make sure that your mind, and that's the key, the mental frame, guys, is what I'm really trying to hammer you on, is making sure that you're not in this constant If that's you, then you might need some ADHD medication. Okay, or just, I don't know, I ain't one to smoke weed, but I don't know, I don't know, but I'm just saying you need to do something to calm yourself down so you can focus. Or better yet, you need to get with Alicia. I know she can't talk, but she got these wonderful all natural things that you can get to help you focus. But you need to do something to get you to where you're not just, if you're operating like that, then I guarantee there's not a lot that's getting accomplished that's actually making you money and bringing you towards your goals, okay? Now, I've learned this very well. I am the master delegator. Man, I walked around my office the other day. I had everybody in there doing something for me. It's like, hey, I need you to do this. Only because I found out that you'll get overwhelmed when you think you have to do it all. And some of you, the way you respond to being overwhelmed is you shut down. Raise your hands if that's you. You get overwhelmed, you shut down. Now, you might not quit, but you'll slow down. And then all of a sudden you'll get sick. Well, I ain't gonna mess with you, but sometimes all that leads to frustration. You're all over the place, and it's just not good when it comes to your mental state. So you have to find out not how, but who. Not how, but who. In other words, who can you find to do it? I remember when I first got really going in my business, I needed help doing my taxes and my bookkeeping. I couldn't do it both. Now I could have, but I was working on books when I should have been making money. You follow me? Some of you are working on stuff that ain't making you no money when you can hire somebody to do it for $10 or $15 an hour. Or you got them kids that's literally slaves. You just got to know how to work. Let's see, some of you don't know how to work your slaves. Anyway, I worked my slaves, back when my kids were young. Oh, trust me, they was filing, they was putting stuff in envelopes. Hey, nobody eats here for free. In my house, everybody works. If my dog don't bark when somebody comes to the door, he got to go. He got to go because it has to be to where everybody has a job. And if you're in your house, your own house, and you're doing everything in your house, you haven't learned the art of delegation. And guess what? How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're washing the dishes, you're cooking the food, you're frying the fish, you're taking stuff up. I mean, if you're doing all these things and you got these churn around you or you got people around you, that lets me know that you're probably doing the same thing in your business. In your business, I guarantee you're the baker, you're the butler. So you cook it, you serve it, and then you clean up afterwards. And so you can't function like that. At some point you have to learn how to delegate and prioritize what should you be doing. Now I want you to actually ask yourself that. What should I really be doing? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Or should I find somebody that can do that? I know some of you say, well, I don't have no money to hire nobody. Learn a barter system. It's okay to barter with people. Hey, I'll help you with this if you help me with that. Be creative. Always remember, guys, it's not what you can't do. Focus on what you can do. That's what you want to do. You might not be able to do that, but what can you do? There's somebody right now that ain't got no job or ain't trying to do nothing. Give them a few dollars. Some of you got some stuff, like you talk about clutter and stuff like that. Hire one of them kids. Pay them some money. I guarantee you they will help. Okay? But get that delegation down. I promise you, it will help you be more productive. Big thing here, guys, we got to sharpen the axe daily. In other words, get to the point to where when it comes to your priorities, you sharpen what you should be doing. It's nothing like you in a business, and now you, the axe, in some cases, have now gotten dull because you're just constantly grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. And believe it or not, you're not as effective as you could be if you prioritize your day a little bit better. Some of you, your priorities, they vacillate depending on what you're doing. Now, I can't work from home. I'm gonna tell you the truth. At home, there's too much for me to be messing with. When I first started my business, I worked from home. And that was cool for a quick minute. but I knew I had to get into the office because I don't know if you guys have realized this yet, but you are where you are. If you're a professional, you sit at home in your jammies and you run a professional business, maybe it's just me. Some of you do a great job at it, okay? But a person like myself, I gotta be in the mindset of where I'm at. And if I'm in a business work environment, I'm more productive than I am sitting at home. And here's what you can ask yourself. When you're at home, when you should be working, why are you washing dishes? When you should be working, why are you fussing at the kids? Now, this is something, guys, you gotta ask yourself hard questions. Now, for me personally, I had to get out the house. And so I got me some office space and it was a stretch. Quick story. I first got my first office and I think maybe 2 days after I got my keys. And back then they had the gateway computers. I don't know if some of y'all, I'm dating myself a little bit, but that's when computers first came out, had the gateway. The gateway cost like $2,000. Back then, $2,000 was a lot of money. Day two, they broke into place, stole my gateway. Brother was shut down. But it was crazy because it made me even more so had to get on the grind. And so I would get up every single day, go to the office. The office was a stretch. I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. But some of you work better when you're stretched too. And that's actually not a bad thing because if the ask is bigger, then now you go after it more. But if you don't have something big enough, some of you, the problem is your dream, your goal is not big enough yet. And you don't have something to go chase. I guarantee you, some of you, if you shift and get you a little office space or give you a little more overhead, I guarantee you'll get a little more focused. I'm just throwing it out there. Now, this don't work for everybody because some of you guys are doing great at home. If you're sitting at home and you balling, great job. If you sit at home and you broke, you need to start making some adjustments, okay? Because obviously what you're doing is not working. Productive versus busy. If you are a person that at the end of the day, you wore out, you tired, but you ain't made no money. Well, don't raise your hand, but just kind of give me that look. Yeah. Because how you wore out all day long, but you didn't accomplish anything really. That means that you're probably just busy, but you haven't been productive. To me, productivity is results. You should have some results, okay? Now, maybe not every day you make money, but you at least have done some money-making activities. What I call money-making activities, some of you beating the streets. You gotta get out your house and walk to some places. Some of you, it's dropping off business cards to places. If you have a business and it functions with other businesses, then you should be out at some point during the week visiting other businesses. I don't care if you got a Starbucks card. You should be going to those businesses, dropping off a Starbucks card, doing something to where it's gonna generate and be productive in your day, okay? Because if not, you'll find yourself really, really busy, really, really tired, and really, really frustrated because you're not getting the results you really want. But then it goes back because you haven't set your mind on productivity versus just being busy, okay? I said a whole lot. I gave my little dissertation. I wanna hear what you guys are thinking. Because ultimately, when it boils down to it, everything I'm telling you is good, but you repeating it back to me lets me know that you're getting it. Real quick, before I voluntold somebody, give me a nugget of what you just got tonight.
I'll give you one.
Please.
Yes. So I love what you said because I'm the kind of person who has to get out of the house. I'm not good at working at home because first of all, I don't like the distractions of home. I don't like the noise. I don't like, there's a certain mindset I like to be in. There's a certain posture I like to take and a certain environment. So for getting out of the house for me is, just absolutely more productive.
Very good. And once you know that about yourself, now it's a matter of seeing, once again, not what you can't do, but what you can do. I know for me personally, I had to, when my kids were younger, my wife had like a little daycare in the house. And so literally it was a whole lot going on. So I used to have to go to Starbucks, and I'd sit at Starbucks and drink a cup of coffee for a couple of hours. I mean, that coffee, man, I tell you, that coffee was cold, probably had icicles in it. I was there so long, but I had to go find somewhere. I used the library. I remember going to the library in between, getting there, making calls. Guys, I had to find ways to make things happen, okay? And so you have to find ways to make things happen. Where are you gonna be most productive? Write that down, guys. Where am I most productive? And wherever you're most productive is where you need to put yourself or place yourself at. And like I said, if you say, well, I can't afford an office, I just can't, RW, I just can't do it. Fine. How many Starbucks are around you? Coffee shops, the library. I know some of you say, well, you can't talk. Yeah, you can talk in the library. The library has little rooms. You can go in the little rooms and crank out calls. So in other words, there's all kinds of things that you can do that are cost effective, but eventually we want to make you guys so to the point to where your income is paying all the stuff that you need. Okay? Many of you have been in my office. My office pays for itself because of the production that comes in. And of course, I rent out offices too. So just in case you need one, let me know. Anyway, that was a cheap, shameless shout out. But anyway, I believe that you need to make sure that you get yourself in places that you're most productive at. All right. Who else got something? What'd you get? What'd you get? Give me a quick nugget.
I'll share. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I wanted to kind of piggyback off of what she was saying. That was good for me tonight because I am the one who does the baking, the cooking, and all of the other stuff. And I also work from home, so I get distracted by a lot of stuff from home. And sometimes I get pulled away with the kids, and then I have to really make myself sit there and focus, and I have a lot on my mind, especially when they all start coming in the house and bothering me and asking for stuff. So the reason I didn't want to get an office space because it just sounded like more money going out, and I pay so many bills. And sometimes I miss bills and I don't notice until the red notice comes because it's just so much. And I feel pulled so many different ways. So I do think that maybe investing in a office space would help me to stay focused and stretch me, because I am one of those people that do well in the stretch. Not to say that I thrive for pressure, but stretching does actually stretch me. So I think I want to look into that.
Yeah, and here's something that some of you have a competitive spirit. And so you're not going to let somebody kick you out your office space. At least I know I did. I didn't want to be that guy that would be walked out the office and you come to the notices on the door. I didn't want to be that. And so it made me have to really, and here's another mindset shift I want to throw at you. Two things. Office space does not cost you money. It should make you money. So in other words, when you step in the office, I'm looking not to go in there saying, oh Lord, I gotta pay this office. I'm going in saying, oh, this office is about to pay for everything I need to get done. Because the environment that I'm in is gonna produce and be productive for me, okay? Next thing is people. People don't cost you money, people make you money. Think about this. If say you have a product, I'm just throwing out arbitrary, and the product is $100, okay? So you go out, you make $100 on every product you sell. Now, if you're in the back doing stuff that is not gonna make you that $100, but you can get somebody that for $15 an hour can do 3 hours, and you still made 100 minus the 300, minus the 3 hours. So that means that now what, it costs you $45, and that was just one sale. But I guarantee you in that 3 hours that person is there, you could probably do 2 sales. So now that's 200 minus the 45, you still winning because you made more because somebody else was doing the part you shouldn't have been doing. I was sharing this with another guy that does real estate. And I told him, I said, look, I said, if a lead costs you, I don't know, $1,000, I'm sorry, hiring somebody in to call and do all this stuff costs you $1,000 a month. One deal is $4,000 average. So if it costs me $1,000 for one deal, and if I can do at least 2 deals a month, that's $8,000. Yeah, I got to pay $1,000, but you couldn't have made that 1,000 if you didn't have the person. You could have made the 2 sales if you didn't have the other person there. Think about this. Let me put it another way. Say you had a security person, and while the security person was there, nothing happened. And then you took away the security person, and then everything started happening. But you fired the security person because nothing was happening. It's all because you looked at it wrong. You looked at it as the security person that's costing me money, not thinking the security person was securing stuff. And that's why you didn't have the additional drama that you needed to not be dealing with. Okay? So look at things a little differently, guys. You got to flip the script. In business, the thought has to be different. Of course, we don't want to go out and get a bunch of overhead that's unnecessary, but you also have to know who you are and what you do and how you thrive. Okay? I think, who else? Sharia, I think you had a comment or thought. Is that you?
Yes, sir. Thank you for setting the stage. I just want to encourage the parents this evening on the delegation. I am a chameleonaire. I adapt in any environment I'm in because I'm trainable, teachable, and coachable in all things and at all times. But the delegation on the kids is really, you could do it. One strategy we use in our house is we keep our kids busy, make them clean up. I guarantee you, if you make them go clean up, they're going to stay out your face. Okay. So I want you to try that one today. When they come in your face, say, go vacuum the floor, go clean the refrigerator, go walk down the walls. I promise you, they're going to stay out your face because every time they see you, you're going to make them do something. So that's one strategy for mommies. Okay. Another one to encourage you is that my daughter, Savannah, she built my website. All I did was oversee her because I took the skills that they already have and I put them into play. This is my tribe. My daughter going to school to be a mental therapist because I want to open my own mental therapist building. So I need a therapist. So I'm learning to use the skills of my tribe to better our whole family as a whole. Because if mama make it, we all make it. One of us make it, we all make it. And we have to learn to see each other in that type of community. You know, we're not just a family. We are a community of skills to help each other. So I just hope that motivates you guys, especially with the children. Put them in a youth group. My kids write grants. So guess what Juju and Savannah doing? Their assignment for their mama is to write me some grants. Give me some grants for my business. I'm not the, mother and father shouldn't be the only parents working towards success in the home. It's good to teach your children to write down things just like how you're doing it, because we remember you examine yourself first, but after you examine yourself, you got to put them steps into play. So that's how you put them steps in order. I promise you, them kids gonna get in line and they would get excited about the family business. Now they understand the mission of their family. Now they got goals to work towards too. Because trust me, kids know when they're embarrassing and not. Your kids know when they being ghetto, when they being rude, all that. So just have some confidence with them and trust me, start delegating, make them do something. And I promise you, they're going to stay out your face.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well said. You know what? And here, and just even to add to that is if you're looking to build generational wealth, you got to make sure they know how to maintain it. Because the generational wealth shouldn't stop when you stop. In other words, teach them, train them to do what you're doing, or some of you put them in career fields that can help you later. You know, I had this one lady I just spoke to earlier. She sent her daughter to college for marketing. Now her daughter's working a job for her, marketing her business. So guys, it's just prioritizing how and where you're spending your time, okay? Samantha, what'd you get? Give me a nugget of what you got tonight.
What I get tonight? Oh, I think it's important that you brought out the fact that some people do work better under stress. I know for me, a lot of times people will be like, procrastination is bad. And like, I know procrastination is not good. It's not ideal. But I know for me personally, when I know that I have a goal especially if it's pressed for time, I work really hard to make sure I hit that goal. Because one thing, I am competitive and I know that, especially in business. So I'm not gonna let nobody outdo me, especially when I have a deadline. So I thought that was good that she brought that out as a positive instead of a negative.
Yeah, it's good and bad. You know, once again, everybody takes it different because everybody handles pressure different.
Yeah.
You know, somebody can handle pressure, some people can, but just making sure that you're not just, I think Germany's brought this out, you don't thrive off it to the point to where it becomes an everyday event. And that's
right.
Yeah, it's very good, very good, very good, very good. All right, who else we got on the call? We got Dara, let's see, Sade, I knew you jumped in a little late. Did you get a nugget tonight?
All right, I'm sorry. I'm just getting over a cold. I've been really sick here lately. So just tell me if you can hear me.
Oh, we can barely hear you, but you sound like Barry White cousin, but that's okay.
I was thinking that. So
how you doing,
sorry,
big baby?
guys. I would say I'm the type of person that works under pressure. So that really stood out to me because I'm one of those type of people that wait. And me and you talked about that on my one-on-one when I talked about the procrastination. And it's not really until I'm under pressure and then it's just like I'm trying to get a move on it. And that's something that, like I said, that I am working on. So I don't have to do that. So that's something that really stood out to me tonight.
Perfect. Great. Also, too, and I'm glad that you guys, I'm telling you guys, dedication to be on here. You're not feeling well, Sharia, Sade, a couple of you guys. I love it. That shows dedication. I know that for me personally, that means that you're committed to being better. So powerful stuff. If you can, though, I'm going to recommend you prioritize yourself and maybe try to take a day off, just rest your body, and then go back at it the next day. That way now you can get yourself prioritized to work. And remember, you, at this point, a lot of you are your business. And so if you're not there, it's not going to function or nothing's being done. So I'd rather you take a day down than take a week or two down, or try to keep going, which is, I used to be guilty. I would keep going until I fell out. And then my wife would fuss at me because here I am, now I'm down for the count because I just didn't take that moment to prioritize my health. All right, so try to make sure you do that, which is great. Marquella, what'd you get on tonight?
You have to do something and be confident in what you're doing. Like when you talked about business cards, sometimes you got to be confident and not holding on to your cards, pass them out. Because you want people to know about your business you're doing. So passing your cards out, passing out your flyers and stuff like that, and being confident in while you're doing it.
Perfect. And some of you, I know you carry like 5 different cards because your side hustle got a hustle, but we're gonna hone you in this year and get you focused on that one thing that's gonna make the money. I said it again, that one thing or 2 things that's gonna make money. If it ain't making money, then why are you doing it? Okay? Not if you're calling yourself a business. If not, call it a hobby. But like I said, if it's a business and you're doing it and it's not creating any income or what you're looking to do, I want you to really start questioning that now. Don't wait until June to figure out that, hey, this ain't working. Or just, it maybe not time. Some of you guys are, once again, you're prioritizing something that is going to be a part of what you're going to do, but maybe just not right now. So what are some things that you are doing right now that really you shouldn't be doing right now? It should be something that's added to once you get your main thing working. All right, who do I got? Who can answer that question for me? Hold on one second. Let me get somebody good. Who's that? Darshell. What are you doing that you probably shouldn't be doing at this moment because it's taken away from what you should be doing? That's a mouthful. No, she might have stepped away.
Okay.
Oh,
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Okay. Make sure I make sure your sister and
You said, what am I doing that? Yeah, we're at mom's right now.
Okay.
So what am I doing that I shouldn't be doing that's not keeping me from being productive?
Yes, that's keeping you from doing what you should be doing.
Okay. Getting easily distracted by everything else going on around my world.
Okay. Now, what would you do to not have that happen? How could you work on getting that better?
Work on being more focused, actually planning out my day and actually sticking to the schedule.
Perfect. Great answer. Please go tend to mom. I appreciate you being on. Deshaun, you're here. I don't know if you're actually with us because I know you're working, but priorities. How do you prioritize what you do?
Yeah, that's a good question right there. How do I prioritize what I do? So I do two primary things. One is personal training, and then the other one is real estate. So right now, personal training has been prioritized because that's been like the longer term, consistent stream of monthly income for me. But being in real estate, I'm seeing the big hits here and there. So I'm actually working to prioritize that a lot more this year. And I got some goals set up as far as investments, which require, capital. So I'm trying to figure all that good stuff out. So that's something that I'm working on. I don't have it all figured out.
Well, something's working because I think for those that don't know, of course, Deshaun is my son, and 24 years old. And let me brag a little bit. About that generational wealth. And I think this year you're going to break 100,000 this year, right?
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah. Well, last year you broke 100,000, or just about.
Just about.
Yeah. I mean, that's between the two businesses that you're working. So it lets me know that with the low focus, and even if you do have maybe two things, knowing which and how to focus on those things to make it work. And once again, guys, I know I keep coming back to the money, but you got to ask yourself these hard questions, because if you don't, you'll keep doing things that you really shouldn't be doing. And it doesn't produce the things that you want it to do. Because the question you have to ask yourself is, why do I want this business? Why do I want to do what I'm doing? And for a lot of you, it's the freedom. I mean, who's on here that doesn't want freedom from their family? Who on here doesn't want freedom to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it? Who wants freedom to at least be able to go to Albertsons and not have to guess or wonder how much you got on your card? I knew I made it when I could get to a place now to where I don't even think about which card I got to grab. Just grab a card. They all got money on them. I said, hey, I must have made it, man. I remember there was a time I used to have to calculate. Wait a minute, let's put that back. So I've been there where you've been. Now it's just a matter of figuring out how do you get past that, which is going to come through what we're talking about, okay? Because you don't want to keep yourself there. Now, with that being said, I did want to answer any specific questions you guys have. I have about 7 minutes. Any specific business questions that you guys had or this week that came up that you have a question about?
I have a question.
Shoot.
What types of marketing do you think is most beneficial to do kind of local services?
Absolutely, social media. I think that you should be on social media. And well, some of you guys, I don't know if you guys saw my new video that I have out, but I have a new video that I put out on social media. It's one of those things, guys, to where you'll note with me, and I'll use myself as an example, I drip a lot of marketing. In other words, you're going to see something every single day, at least. My goal was 3 to 4 posts a day. That's my goal. And the good news is, even with those 3 to 4 posts, people still don't see everything that you're doing, but you have to be so consistent that my goal is that you get tired of seeing stuff from me and finally call me. Or you get tired of seeing me post stuff and you finally jump on the Zoom. Get to the point, and then my next goal is I want to be on everything. I want to be everywhere they look. Like, man, dang, I'm outside seeing this dude. And so these are things, guys, that you got to start looking at. Social media first. And everybody here have a cell phone? Everybody have a cell phone. Everybody that calls me just about, they now get a video and I have a video of what I do. And I think it's beautiful because now you can start advertising even with your regular average calls. Because right now, and here's just a thought for some of you, how many people are in your phone? And for the average person, you got over 200 people in your phone. What if you said to yourself, I'm just saying this, I'm gonna market to 25 of my people on my phone every week for the next however it takes to get to everybody. How would that work for you? You know, even if you got 200 people and the average number is maybe 1 to 5% that actually do something with you, that's still more than what you had. And also, it lets people really know what you do. Okay? If people don't know what you do, if they don't know you, they can't flow you. That's a bar. If they don't know you, they can't flow you. In other words, they can't flow you no money if they don't know you. So you got to get yourself out there a little bit more. Flyers, of course, they work. But I think right now social media is a big one, but not just doing it one shot. Is like that consistent drip. And matter of fact, we have a social media specialist on here. Samantha, give us a quick nugget on what works best as you're doing your marketing, your lead generating.
Okay, so for sure, everything you said was great about social media. It definitely is the modern way to market now. Door to door definitely works, depending on your niche or depending on what type of business that you have. I would say you should focus primarily on these two social media platforms, which is Instagram and Facebook. There's a way in Facebook where you can post on both social media platforms at one time, and you can schedule it out. So say if you create flyers, or if you don't, you have, like Cherie said, you have kids, they're creative. You can schedule it out weeks in advance, constantly posting. You can repost the same thing a few times, obviously not consecutively, but you can post the same thing a few times over, or in different ways. It doesn't have to be super crazy. It doesn't have to be extra graphic, you know, personalizing your captions. I mean, there's lots of ways that you can reach people that aren't paid. And even just on Facebook, I know a lot of people use Facebook. There's a way you can share your entire page with everybody on your list with one click. So there's lots of ways that you use social media to boost your business.
Thank you, Samantha. And this reminds me why we're meeting, so I can get my stuff all connected. You know, because even when you're doing stuff, now it's to the point to where, once again, what should you be doing? What shouldn't you be doing? Who should you pay to do something that you shouldn't be doing? Okay, because it's costing you time, so it's still costing you money. Now the key is, instead of it costing you money, let it make you money. And some of you, a lot of this we're talking about marketing wise, it at least gets you in front of people. Okay, good way to do that. Good. Any other questions? Hopefully I helped you out with that one, Delshana. Because I know your books and stuff, I haven't seen any of that stuff on social media. And maybe you posted here, there, here, but yeah, we got to get that consistency. I know the doctor.
I think for me, it's the algorithm and understanding what the algorithm trends are or changes are. Because I could do a lot of posting and you still don't see it. But if you go on my page, you like see all this stuff. I don't know. I think there's a system. So maybe Samantha's the woman with the info.
Absolutely. And for a small fee, she'll help you out. I've been working with her.
Not be small. She better charge the right fee.
Well, there you go. You know what? I did slap her around in our last one-on-one, so I think she's ready now. Good. Any other questions, guys, that you might have?
I have one question tonight, RW, is how do you know when you're entering into the right leasing agreement when renting out commercial property?
It depends on, well, of course, right now we're in one of those markets to where there's a lot of spaces. So now you have more leverage. So that means that you can walk into a place and ask for free rent. You got to ask for free rent. So they might, if it's a year lease, you should be able to get at least one free month. They might make you pay, of course, the first and last, but they'll give you a free month, maybe your second month. And it depends, of course, on the class of the office, because there's different classes. There's A class, there's B class, and there's ghetto. And so now it's a matter of figuring out where that falls within. And also, too, of course, talk to the tenants if you can that are actually in the complex that you're in, to find out how they're being treated. You know, I found that to be most effective. It's like, hey, how's the landlord? How's the people that own this place? How they do? Do they fix stuff? And so a lot of it's question answer. Leases are pretty standard when it comes to commercial. Normally they're going to try and lock you in for between a year to 5 years. At this state though, you probably want to just stick with a year unless you're getting a massive building. Like my lease is 5 years on my building, only because of my space. And so with that being said, it depends on the space, the location. But right now, because of everything that's going on, you're in a great negotiation spot. So they might be asking for one thing, but offer something else. Hopefully that answers some of your questions.
And what if you walk into a space and you see that there is need of repair? I use that as a bargaining tool. Do I repair it or do I make them repair it? Just like as if I was leasing a regular apartment unit.
You make them repair it and you have them to take care of it, and you negotiate that either with rent or with, actually right now, because everything that's going on, really, you should be able to walk in and say, look, I need to get that fixed, and that fixed, and they'll do it for you. Because once again, we're in a good season right now for those that are trying to get back into the office.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can tell you from myself, actually, all the offices I've gotten, they've needed improvement one way or the other, and I've always negotiated that into me actually getting the space. And that's always worked. I've never had to pay for a tenant improvement. And I've had some massive tenant improvements in some of my buildings. Yeah. So just make sure you just always have your negotiating hat on, which is good. All right. One last question and we got to jump.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Oh, so when did you know that it was time for you to start hiring employees? Did you hit a certain number, or was it just like it was too much work, or what was it?
I actually started calculating the time I spent on things that were producing for me. And when I started seeing myself doing things that weren't making me money more than the things that were making me money, then now I need to hire somebody to take care of that thing so I can keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's almost like maybe in your case, if your strong point is on the computer doing all that stuff, then you might not be the one needing to be taking payments and setting things up like that. Yeah. And so almost like you take away the task that you need to hire out somebody, because once again, and I'm gonna keep saying this, I know you're tired of me saying it, but it's all about the money, and you can't always judge it by what you're making, because you have to tell yourself you're gonna make more once you hire somebody to do that other part.
Okay.
Yeah. And just so you know, guys, know a good ratio for you, if we were to look at a number, is about 35% is what your payroll ratio should be. And my tax people might help me out and say a little different, but I want to say between 30 and 35% is a good percentage to look at when it comes to what your payroll should be. Okay. And so that's important to know, because you don't want to put yourself out there either. But I can tell you this, I have stretched myself every time I've hired an employee. And the funny thing is, it always works out. I have not had one employee, even during COVID, that I had to get let go of because I couldn't find stuff for them to do. Yeah, so it definitely depends on your productivity. And also for a lot of you guys, it's going to depend on how organized you are for them to have stuff to do when they do come. Because you might be looking at them like, what are you doing? Well, you didn't lay anything out. Usually for me, before I get in the office, I'm shooting a text to my guys, hey, I need this done before you do this, and that. And I try to be consistent with that as much as I can, especially if there's something that I know is hot off the press that needs to be done. Okay. Did I answer your question a little bit?
Yes, that was great.
Perfect. Any other questions? Well, actually, I don't have time for another question. So let's go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. Accountability, guys. This is what's going to close the gap between what you want to do and actually producing the results. And remember, guys, this is results driven. So if you tonight, I frustrated you by keep talking about what kind of money you're making, what kind of money you're making. I want you to ask yourself, is the frustration because you're doing more busy work and you're not seeing the benefit of it? Okay, most people leave entrepreneurship because they don't see the benefit, but most of them are not putting in the work to see the benefit. Trust the process, don't rush the process. But know that in that process, you got to prioritize how you're going to stay in business. Okay, 21 Days to New You Challenge. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing with that? Put in the chat real quick. How you doing with the 21-day new challenge? Hopefully you're doing well. 6 a.m. meditation, prayer, 15 minutes, get it in. Physical activity, get that in. I know some of you this vegetarian lifestyle. Oh my goodness. Anybody having a really good experience with the vegetarian lifestyle? Just give me one quick person that said, you know what, this is pretty cool.
I'll go ahead. I love it. I've actually found some new meals. They're frozen, but plant-based that are actually really good. And I don't feel like I'm missing meat. So surprised.
Perfect.
Go Samantha, go Samantha, woo woo.
I don't know if some of you guys saw that wonderful tasty lasagna that I posted. That was a vegetarian lasagna. It's so much you can do, guys. Just try to be creative. But the whole purpose of that, honestly, is number one, discipline. It helps. And also to help you feel a little bit better, hopefully get you some more energy. Drink plenty of water. Top 5 list, power list. You guys got to make sure you're staying on your power list every day. Get up, do your morning thing, and then hit your top 5 list. Make sure you know what that is. And daily audit of income brought into your business. What, at the end of the day, what did you do financially for your business? What did you do? And this is important because remember, a lot of you guys, I've sat you down and told you how much you want. You told me how much you want to make a year. We broke it down by the month. Then we broke it down by the week. Then we broke it down by the day. So in order for you to hit your long goal, you got to start hitting your short goals also. And once again, you can't hit any goal if you're not measuring it. Okay? Good stuff. We already started. You guys are off and running with that. Don't go alone. Make sure you guys know that I'm here for you. I'm here for you via text or email. You might not always get a call from me, but at least I know I'll hit you back, text or email, and try to answer your questions, okay? Because I do believe that there's some things that might pop up that you need a little help with. And of course, as I always end with, this is a value exchange. In other words, I pray that I'm giving you value on how to increase your profit lines, increase your numbers. I've got so many testimonies that are coming through and people that I've actually helped. Just talking to a young guy today, we started a business 7 months ago, and he's already about to hit, $1 million in production just in his business, just because we're working together and I'm helping him and I'm coaching him through it. So for those that don't know, of course, I do individual coaching. It's of course a lot more expensive because I produce a lot of great results. Okay. But with this value exchange, I'm going to give you value. So don't pimp me out. Make sure you respect the value and help me to help you even better. All right. Make it worth both our times. So I appreciate you in advance. You guys know the pricing, $99 a month. Some of you guys have already taken care of it. Thank you. Also, I want to remind you that this is a tax write-off. Da-da-da-da. So not only are you getting good information, but you're now able to write this off on your taxes. So if you did not know that, now you know. And you can write this off as a training business expense. All right. Other than that, guys, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you. I hope you got something out of today's message. I look forward to seeing you on next Thursday. Got some really hot topics we're going to hit for this month to push you into gear and get you going. And do me a favor, any questions you have, please write them down or email me with your questions, and I'll try my best to get back to you and see how we can help you move forward and get that going. All right. Other than that, guys, you have a great evening. Thanks so much for being on the call. Talk to you soon. Bye. Get well. Those of you that are sick, get well, get well.
Peace.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Talk to you soon.
Thank
All right,
you.
Pastor.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.